This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my co-host Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. And yourself?
Good. We've had a good week here at Massive Late Fee. I've been a little under the weather, but other than that, pretty good. Got back to the gym today. It was hard, but feeling good. You?
I've been kind of sick myself, but I'm feeling a little better. My youngest and I seem to have a cold that's kind of going away.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's what I had was a cold with a bad cough. So
no good.
Yeah. I guess we'll get into the IMDb game. I've got a few different things I want to talk about today, but first, there's some interesting stuff in the internet today. But first, we'll do the IMDb game. So, your first clue, Mike. There isn't much here. This might help you out, I suppose. I will tell you that under frightening and intense scenes, there are no entries. Under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, there are no entries. Your first clue is under profanity. One of the characters takes the Lord's name in vain. Plenty of hells, damns, and pissed. Other mild profanities throughout. There's a period, and then it just says, turd fart, crap butt.
That actually doesn't sound familiar. Step Brothers?
No. All right, let's see. Violence and gore. Nothing graphic. Comic violence. And the only other clue for violence and gore is a girl puts a guy in a headlock.
Hostel 2.
No. Sex and nudity.
Yes, please.
If you're familiar with this movie in any way, this might give it away. Two kids talk about kissing. The girl on the team tackles the handsome quarterback so she can lie on top of him.
Oh, is this Little Giants?
Exactly. And
We've done this before.
That was the last clue in the thing. No, I don't think we've done it before.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we spoke about it for some reason, but I don't remember.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I couldn't say, but the first clue for profanity was Danny O'Shea.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it, well enough. I mean, I'm sure that's Ed O'Neill's character. But
Yes,
I wouldn't be able to
is.
tell you that without the context of already knowing we're talking about Little Giants.
The O'Shea brothers.
Isn't Devin Sawa like the quarterback that she likes?
Yeah, he's the handsome quarterback, Devin Sawa.
Good for him.
I don't know what ever happened to Icebox, but
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see. My first clue. One of the characters, who is 3 years old, is shown completely nude for roughly 5 seconds. It's a male character as well.
holy shit. Okay, 3 years old. Very specific age. And roughly 5 seconds. Did Matt do this?
No, I don't think Matt cares about, children in their accidental nudity. Plus, obviously, this, again, as I've explained before, I'm pretty sure Matt just prefers when he thinks that he's not supposed to have.
Right. So it's kind of like movie mistakes, but it's got to be cocks and movie mistakes.
And balls as well. I don't think he, I guess he would probably like to see, breasts and vaginas too, but I don't really know.
Yeah, we don't.
Actually, I'm sorry. That was sexist. I used vulgar slang for, cock and balls. I mean, tits and pussies as well.
You're right. Right, exactly.
Equality.
Let's see. A 3-year-old's naked. Trying to think like
Dun 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 dun.
it's such a specific age. That's what's throwing me off. Because I'm trying to think of movies where there might be like, I mean, because that's not 3's not a baby. Problem Child.
That is incorrect.
All right.
Very strong, even for a PG-13. But I'll give you another one because that's not a very good clue. One of the character's daughter projectile vomits on him.
That sounds really familiar. Mr. Mom?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. References to dildos and sex toys. There's a shot of one as well. There is dialogue of, quote-unquote, having sex with machinery. Reference to ejaculation using synonyms. Two of the characters take pictures of them having sex. One of the other characters later finds them. One of the characters had a son whose name I won't give up because it'll tell you immediately what it is, that he never knew about. He described the one-night stand. Sensuality, that's, I guess, strong, I don't know, whatever. Reference to abortion, and there's a brief shot of a porno on tape one of the characters investigates. She finds it in one of the characters' rooms. A theme of pregnancy.
Holy shit. There is a lot in there. Fuck. Some of this sounds familiar, but wow, that was a lot.
Here's a big clue. If I could tell you that the unknown son's name, that would probably give it away immediately.
Okay. Damien, The Omen.
Nope.
This is a noodler. I feel like I should know it already.
I'm almost positive you've seen this movie. Let's see. A woman drinks a shot of vodka and an elderly man hands out cigars to a group of men in a hospital. He is briefly seen smoking a cigar a moment.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously, obviously birth is a big part of this. Babies being born. Old school with the cigars at the hospital. Projectile vomiting, so, like, you know, he's taking care of the kids. But then there's all this weird sex stuff, too. Oh.
Don't forget, it's PG-13.
Yeah, that's true. Look Who's Talking?
No. Though you're not 100% far off, but that's... I mean, don't take that clue to heart too much, because it won't really lead you to the actual answer.
Right.
One of the characters drag races and spins out during a race.
Parenthood?
Parenthood, yes, you are correct.
Nice. Were you saying, you know, you're not entirely off? I don't know, for whatever reason, I thought along the exact same lines as you, which helped me, like, start to go towards Parenthood, and then when you said the race thing, I'm like, oh yeah, Keanu Reeves. Okay, and then the dildo thing, yeah.
Remember that part.
Yep, it all makes sense.
Yeah, and, you know, obviously his son's name is Cool. If I had said his son Cool, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's Parenthood.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely would have given it away. Speaking of cool, would you ever, do you think, pay $75 for a candle?
No, I would not.
Now, let me tell you though, what if the candle smelled like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina?
Yeah, I know you were heading this direction. I'd heard that she's trying to sell like is it explicitly her vagina that's supposed to smell like?
Well, it's on her stupid fucking site Goop, and all it says is, "This smells like my vagina."
Huh. That's probably not probably a more you know, positive spin on the way it actually smells, I would imagine.
You know what's even, well, if you've got, first off, if you've got cats, you're not gonna want to get this candle.
Oh no.
But second of all, you know what's even more disturbing? This item is sold out.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dumb people out there. I tell my children this all the time. They ask why so and so happens, and I'm like, kids, you think I'm kidding, but the amount of stupid people out there is phenomenal. There's so many. It's a lot.
She like what?
Do we know what kind of quantity she had though? I mean, she might have had 2 candles. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, as part of the marketing, they say, "Oh, they're sold out," but I had 2 candles.
Right? How much juice is she really? Especially at this age, producing.
Did you? Did you ever find Gwyneth Paltrow attractive?
No.
Yeah, there's something about her that's just like meh.
She's not my type to begin with, but
same here.
Even for not my type, she's not. I mean, she seems like she's a fine actress. I don't like she's. I mean,
does she though?
I was gonna say I was almost gonna say like she seems like a nice person or whatever, but she's selling crap to morons.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think she has a show on Netflix now. This Goop show. We should do that for dumpster diving.
Absolutely, yes. I will
and do you
that.
really? I mean, you're gonna have a vagina-scented candle, and the company's name on it is Goop. Really? That's what you're going with there?
Yeah, I know it's.
Ooh, give me that Goop, honey.
Oh God! I mean,
she had all kinds of goop on her, if you know what I mean.
What do you think this is? So there's a smaller little it's like a perfume. It's called Holy Water, but it's HOLI water.
I don't understand. I mean, everything I've heard, like she has all these weird products. Like how people are obsessed with those Himalayan salt lamps or whatever. That I think people think they'll get rid of ghosts or something. I don't really understand what the fuck that is. I mean, it's like one of those dumb things. It's like, oh, this will. It's like it's not. It's. I mean, how can you? Why would a famous actress have to become a snake oil? Do you think she believes this herself? I mean, it's clearly bullshit. Any reasonable person can look at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's bullshit."
I don't know. I feel like she does. I feel like she buys her own bullshit. You know what I mean? I think
I would think so. And in my opinion, it's better. I mean, I wouldn't want someone just malignantly like, "Oh, this is obviously bullshit," but a bunch of idiots will buy it. Again, part of my theory that actors are morons.
Exactly. Because as you pointed out, I mean, she is her mother was a famous actress, Blythe Danner. Her dad, Bruce Paltrow, was a producer. She's a famous actress. She has millions upon millions of dollars. She certainly doesn't need money from all these idiots on her website. No offense, idiots that go to goop.com.
You know what? I'm not upset if we offend idiots. Idiots, please be offended and then try to stop being idiots.
But yeah, so I do believe she just believes all this shit. My wife has one of those pink salt Himalayan things. She got it from her Secret Santa from work for Christmas. So it's it's cheap, it's like
I had no idea about the pricing of them.
Well, it had to be $20 or less because that was their limit. So she has one downstairs. She works from home and she works downstairs. And it can be pretty dark down there. And the only lighting we have is fluorescent, and she really hates the fluorescent light, so she uses the lamp down there for work. It's a nice soft light, I guess.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's not saying oh look, it's curing my eczema, or not that she has eczema,
no,
or
no,
my
yeah,
arthritis is gone. I mean, I think people think that shit will do that, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, she doesn't think any of that. She just thinks that it's a cool looking candle, or a cool looking lamp, basically.
Sure, and it's free.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was ridiculous, and I wanted to mention that. Another story that I found that I thought was sort of interesting. This doesn't necessarily have to do with with what we normally talk about, which is
You're going off topic?
Right. It doesn't necessarily have to do with celebrity or movies or whatever, but a man, David Ostrom, from Kansas, has decided to make a motion to the court that he would like to have his divorce with his wife Bridget decided by combat. the Japanese style of trial by combat, basically. And he said that she can choose her lawyer as her champion if she wants to. Obviously, this is...
How white is this guy? He's very white, right? He's not...
Oh, yeah.
There's no chance he's anything but like a mid-40s white guy with no hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, you got it.
We're really into anime. Maybe the wife is Asian. I don't know.
What I think is funny is that, well, is the wife's name? Well, I guess it could be. But what I think is funny is he says he wants to meet his ex-wife and her attorney on the quote on the field of battle, where he will rend their souls from their corporal bodies.
That sounds reasonable.
And he talks in the thing about how it's he's not being serious, and he doesn't expect it to actually happen, but that her lawyer has, I guess, been completely like unreasonable or something like that, and he's doing it basically to like to point out how ridiculous
to waste people's time is what he's doing this for.
Exactly. And then the lawyer responds with surely he means our corporeal bodies.
Right?
Instead of corporal. The lawyer does kind of sound like a dick, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh, just a funny note. I still have my screen open because I was going to look up the that story you were talking about to see if it's like the guy's exactly as I described.
Mm-hmm.
But under sex and nudity, it says stripper shows up to boys' party, but it's spelled STRIPER. So I was thinking it's not spelled this way, but it made me think of the band Stripe.
Right.
Just how would strippers show up at a party? Hey kids, sex and nudity.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Yeah, there's been a lot of ridiculousness out there lately. I've heard that. I heard I think our friend Ben's wife posted that a deaf man is trying to sue Pornhub to get subtitles on the video.
Wow.
Which, I mean, what? I mean, you kind of get the idea. I mean, what? I mean, none of that makes sense. I mean, are you looking for the dialogue? The dialogue is terrible.
Yeah, he needs the plot. He can see. Could you imagine if you couldn't see like Braille porn? That'd be worse.
Yeah, that would be worse. I mean, I guess you just have someone describing what's happening. I think that's what they do for like some closed caption. Like someone will talk, and say, mm-hmm. Hey, this is a man he's apparently some kind of repairman.
One time,
Striper shows up at a boy's party.
One time I accidentally, when that first came out, I think it was Lincoln, or I can't remember. This is back when you could still go to like Family. I mean, I guess Family Video's still there, but when we actually did rent movies instead of just stream them, and we rented a movie. I can't remember if it was Lincoln or something like that, and I didn't realize what it was, enhanced description or something like that. And I thought for a second it was just closed captioning, and my wife likes to have the closed captioning on. So I put it on.
I do as well.
I put it on, and all of a sudden I just hear this very pleasant voice come across the screen going, the Miramax logo comes up, or whatever. It's a giant M with two, and just like literally describing every single thing that happens. And I was like, oh, this is not right.
I wonder if there's like some of those people that are better at it than others. Like if you are like a blind person, like, oh, I want to get this guy because he's so much better at describing.
Well, that's a very good question. Yeah, because
like with audiobooks, there's certain authors I like, certain people I like reading it better mm-hmm. than others. Like for the Game of Thrones series, he's passed away now, unfortunately, but this guy named Royce Daltrey, he does a very good job of, reading the books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I know people do follow, like I think this is, we've mentioned him before on the show, but Bronson Pinchot actually is doing a lot of audiobooks, and apparently he's very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I like,
I mean, I think he's won awards.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I the first time I ever quote unquote read Breakfast of Champions was a book on tape that I listened to and from work for, I think it maybe took me 2 days or 3 days or something like that to get through. And Stanley Tucci, the great actor, was reading it, and he was fantastic. And
Are you sure it wasn't John Turturro?
yeah, that's true. I guess it could have been. No, it was definitely Stanley Tucci, but he was like a perfect. Like he wouldn't have been a perfect choice for every book, but for Kurt Vonnegut, he was a perfect choice.
Yeah, for sure. I think Jeremy Irons actually reads Lolita, which I hear is just like magnificent. Like his like soothing like English voice, for that like kind of creepy. I've never read it, but I obviously know the plot.
Right.
Like that creepy, disturbing.
Yeah, that definitely. I could see how that could cushion the blow of him having him read it.
It's something else. Just like their voices are so like nice to hear. You could just like you could have them read off like like a ransom note. I mean, that's just like how nice their voices are. Hey, speaking of Bronson Pinchot, how many times do you think he's put a gun in his own mouth? I'm guessing like 2.
Yeah, I think probably twice, and then maybe also once he's opened the medicine cabinet and just kind of looked at the pills.
He just dumped the whole bottle in his hand.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just counting them.
And then he just puts them back. Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, I couldn't. Like his wife walks in and he's like, I couldn't remember if I took my pill today.
If I was supposed to take 1 or 500. Another crazy thing about Bronson Pinchot. Did you know that he hates shiny things?
No, that's weird.
Yeah, I learned this from this magazine called Disney Adventure when I was like 10.
Wow.
Like even a Polaroid, he doesn't like the shininess. What a fucking piece of shit.
What the hell? Well, this world now is certainly not for him.
Yeah, I bet that Outkast song, "Hey," just really bothers him. He didn't listen to it.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to shake it like?
He says no reference points. Like, I don't even know how much they weigh. Are they heavy? Are they flimsy?
Right.
I can't do this.
Oh,
they're not being, obviously literal.
Speaking of stars from the 80s and early 90s, though, last week we talked about Paul Rubens, Pee-wee's arrest.
Our part of our Jacker series.
Yeah, so I was looking it up on Wikipedia, and I came across something that is...
You know what the movie is called? Tiger Shark, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it said that in Wikipedia.
Well, it definitely was an adult movie, but I came across something that is just absolutely pure gold. So after his arrest, some of you might know because I'm sure it's still on YouTube. He had to do some public service announcements as part of his probation and everything. He did one about crack cocaine, which is pretty well known. He also did another one, I think it was also about crack cocaine or maybe some other drugs. With
if only Max Wright would watch those.
Right, with the claymation character of Penny from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I like how they use like a character that's like a surrealistic, like clay character. But like, hey, don't use drugs.
Right. Don't
something I
see
clearly
this stuff.
imagined while I was high.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't like think of fucking Cherry when you're like going to drop off some soup at the local food pantry.
Mm-hmm. But here's the part that is the funniest. Despite the negative publicity, many artists who knew Rubens, such as Cyndi Lauper, Annette Funicello, Zsa Zsa Gabor, and Valerie Golino, spoke out in his support. Next sentence. Bill Cosby defended Rubens, saying, quote, "Whatever he has done, this is being blown all out of proportion." I could just hear him like
planting the seeds.
Yeah, he jacked off in a movie theater. Wait till you find out what I've done.
You know what's funny? I was looking at. I just Googled celebrities whacking off in theaters, to see if there's like a comprehensive list. There's not, Matt.
Yeah.
But it corrected it. It says, "Are you sure you don't mean celebrities jacking off in theaters?" Who the fuck are you to judge me, Google?
Right.
The words are interchangeable.
Hey, asshole. It's not 1987 anymore. We don't say whacking off.
Well, I think wacky off just sounds funnier, but I mean, it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, why is that? Why does that exist? That makes no sense. That should not be a real thing. That should only exist like in the punchline of like a stand-up comedian's like bit.
Mm-hmm. Do you mean celebrities jacking off? That's funny. And I'm gonna guess that you got a lot of porn.
Actually, no, but it's Paul Rubens. Is the first thing that comes up. Then it's like celebrity arrests, 7 most embarrassing arrests. So it's just going to be him. And this is from 2013, so I don't think they had caught Fred Willard, who was probably going for his first time ever.
Oh, okay. Well, I looked it up.
There is celebrity jacking off on Pornhub, but are there subtitles? Is the real question.
Right, exactly. So here's what I found. Let's see. This is celebrity jerk off.
Oh no!
I'm on something called X videos. The first one.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the website.
The first one is Bella Thorne Jerk Off Challenge, which I guess is. Have you? So, what is that?
Are you serious? I think Bella Thorne would actually be good as like a way to delay ejaculation.
So this jerk off challenge. This is who can do it fastest. Do people like post their times?
I think I don't know that it's that granular, but I think the idea is to see how long you can hold off. Like I think people are trying to use like the most sexual, like enticing videos, and then like whoever can last the longest.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it's Bella Thorne, these are going to be like fucking in the hours, like the times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but she's just a repulsive person.
The one underneath it, I think, is also hilarious. It says Khloe Kardashian masturbating. And it shows what's clearly a blonde woman.
I feel like she had blonde hair at some point,
but it's not her. I mean, I can't see her face.
Isn't that what you're hoping? Aren't you hoping it's not her?
I don't care if it's her or not, but it's not her.
I mean, even if it was, compared to her sister's video, it's benign. You're just jacking some.
No, you should say whacking. I don't.
And you got fucking Ray J, like going to town on the sister.
Yeah, I don't know what Khloe Kardashian looks like, to be honest.
How impressive is that? Like that at one point, like Ray J was the more famous member of that group.
Oh, absolutely,
of that coupling.
Yeah,
and I think I heard that for when she got married to Kanye West, Ray J gave his monthly earnings for that video to her as a gift.
Wow.
And it wasn't a small sum either. I think he still made like $30,000 a month off that video.
Wow.
And maybe it was like 12 or something at this point. But yeah, that's just like you're making like 6 figures like off of a video that you made like what 10, 15.
Yeah, no kidding.
And at the beginning, it must have been even more so, or like at various times when she became more popular.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, Ray J was in Steel. So he definitely.
And that's not the only thing he was in.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one either. That video.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's all right. I mean, I'm not especially attracted to her, but I mean, it's like I'll watch pretty much any like celebrity, sex video. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy it.
Right.
Just out of sheer like driving by like in a scene of an accident, curiosity. The worst one I think is the Vern Troyer one.
He had a sex tape?
Yeah, it's not very good. Like I believe he's standing, and the woman is not.
She's lying down. She's in a ditch.
I'm not kidding. I think it's something like that. A ditch.
And he's standing.
Yeah. So maybe I think I saw that one. Maybe I was thinking maybe I'm thinking of the video where he's like super drunk. And he's like vomiting. He's like, I'm all right.
Oh, poor Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer, I feel like he made quite a bit of money off the Austin Powers movies, or the Love Guru, one of the two, because he had like a really nice house. You know what I mean? It's like he like had to work like every fucking He's not like Samuel Jackson where he's in every single movie ever made.
Right. What?
I think I saw the Ken Burns series, about the new one that's out about country music. I'm pretty sure Samuel Jackson's in that.
That doesn't surprise me either. If there was a movie Samuel L. Jackson hasn't appeared in, I would be surprised.
I feel that somebody should take like a small sum of money, like not a small sum, but like say like enough to employ someone for like a full, 40 hours a week, three, a typical work week, job, and just have them edit Samuel Jackson into their movies, and that would be pleasing. And then you could, watch some movies at a certain website.
I agree. Into every movie ever made.
Yeah, like in Citizen Kane's. Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell. Eventually, you'll be able to do it with computers. You'll be able to manipulate the video and the. You wouldn't have to manipulate. You can make it where he's not, sitting in a chair in a courtroom and he's like in black and white. At like Charles Foster Kane's room, and they're trying to figure out what happened to him.
Right.
And that'll be the day.
That'll be the day that we're all happy.
My wife reminded me of something that was really horrifying this week, and it really made me feel bad about myself. I forgot all about this. My middle name is Swedish.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's like named after. From what I've been told, it's named after one of my grandparents' brother or something. It's like a family name. I have the exact same name as my father. Mm. I'm not going to reveal the name because it's very unique. It's not like something if people want to guess what it is, they can guess, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Good luck. Good luck guessing.
Yeah. Good luck with that one too. Yeah. So it's kind of self-loathing. It's like, hey, maybe that explains why I'm not a perfect person. Yeah. It's whenever I do something wrong, I'm like, yeah, sorry, I didn't really do I didn't do much there. That's the Swedish part.
Yeah, that's your one flaw.
One flaw.
We all gotta have one,
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll figure out what yours is someday.
I'm friends with a Swedish guy.
Nice. Oh, so your middle name is your dad's first name, right?
No, it's Joseph.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, now you've divulged too much information, but thankfully they're not like the most exotic names ever.
No, yeah, not like Cheever.
Yeah, or Cheater, as I'd say.
Oh God, what a cheater!
Oh, did your dad didn't want to pass the middle name along to you or your brother?
No, that's funny because my brother's name is John, like my dad's, but his middle name is Anthony instead of Cheater.
That's funny. Immediately, how about we name it? No, Anthony.
Yeah, they call it. But what's funny is my dad was a junior. My grandfather, same exact name, but they used to call my brother, well, they called him like Little John is what they called him.
Okay. Is he related to the rapper Lil Jon? You know what bothers me about rappers? Why are there so many rappers with the name Little or Lil in front of their name? Is that really what you're going? I mean, really? I mean, if you're, oh man, I listen to this music by a guy who calls himself Lil.
Yeah, you would think that they'd want to project, more confidence than that.
I mean, a lot of it's imitation too. I mean, like obviously, like Lil Wayne and like Lil Jon were like, they're both physically they have a small stature, but I mean, all these other ones don't necessarily. At least they don't seem small. Did you see the Hot Ones with Lil Yachty? He doesn't seem like he's a small person.
No, yeah, I didn't see that one yet. I need to watch it, but
it's like from last season, and they just finished, and they're going to go to another season. Like I think it's February 9th. It's like ridiculous. He takes like 2 weeks off, maybe.
I saw him in an interview at the gym. Actually, that was I don't know what I think it was ESPN. Maybe he was on.
Yeah, he's got a show out too. The Hot Ones, like the game show.
Oh, cool. I will. There was something that he did, a new thing. I think it was called Truth or Dab.
Oh, that is a show they have on there. Like I've seen it before. They had like I think they had some of the kids from Stranger Things on there once. Like it's kind of a funny show. He asks questions and you can either answer it or do the dab. And like the questions he asked are like really like what's your salary and that kind of stuff.
Oh wow, yeah.
He had these.
I saw the one I saw was with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, I saw that one. Or rather, I listened to it. I think they mostly just said everything, but they did do the dabbing too, which was I can't imagine how hot that is because, like I said, my friend Matt got the bomb, and that was insane. It was like the title, it like is an explosion of like pain and fire in your mouth.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you told me that you
it's like a night down by the docks for you, huh, Mark?
When you told me that you did that, I was like, yeah, I'm not huge into hot stuff, so I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah, the messed up part is I am huge into hot stuff, and it was like a slap in the face. That's how hot it was.
Yeah. Like I'll make Thai food here, and I'll use
Oh, nice.
I'll use
I'm sorry, that's actually cultural appropriation. I don't know if you were aware of that or not.
Oh, I can't eat that anymore.
Nope.
Well,
And you need to go apologize to the first Thai person you see.
all right, sounds good. Where's Fred's nephew? Paulie. I'll go find Paulie.
Oh God, I don't even know what he's up to.
No, me either. Still
Probably
watching.
lurking about somewhere.
Still watching Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever the fuck he was watching.
I don't know. It's something weird like that.
But
That's a fucking creep.
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh,
He's a cheater.
yeah, I'll use green curry, which is not super hot. And I'll use
And Seth Curry.
yeah, I'll use.
Oh, I think his wife is actually Thai.
Oh,
We've
okay.
connected it all.
Well, there you go, Mrs. Curry. I apologize to you as well.
And Mark Curry. You just feel sorry for him. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, hanging with unemployed people.
Well, you mean the rest of the cast?
Yeah.
Actually, he claimed recently that Steve Harvey was stealing his jokes, which is kind of hilarious because who thinks either of those jokes from either of them are worth stealing?
Here's the thing, though, is if Steve Harvey was attempting to steal jokes, he'd just read the wrong card.
Probably. He's like, "What's up with Aaron?" Ah, damn it! Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Steve Harvey, he's inspirational and infuriating at the same time because he really did he had a lot of struggles getting to where he is. He's obviously a wealthy man now, and he's very famous and stuff. But he, in the show, the movie, The Kings of Comedy, which is the only Spike Lee movie I've ever seen that I liked.
Yep.
He's okay. He's like the host, which generally at a comedy show that's not the funniest person because obviously they send the entertainer there, so he's clearly the least funny person in any situation.
Right.
But I mean, it's his jokes are okay. But I mean, he's Bernie Mac was obviously the closer because who can ever follow Bernie Mac?
Exactly.
One of the funniest men ever to exist.
Yep.
But yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's on the Family Feud. He's ridiculous on that show because he always if anyone says anything even slightly controversial, he'll do this oh my God, walking around pony show song and dance. It's okay, Steve Harvey, you're not really that upset about this. I mean, you're a fucking stand-up comedian. You've heard this shit before,
Right. Yeah, his humor isn't necessarily what I like.
Humorous.
But I think he's fine. And the one thing that I did see that he did on Family Feud, and I think it was just the way that he said this, it was really funny. But it was one of those face-off things. I saw it on YouTube. I wasn't actually watching the show, although I think it's a fine show. I remember way back with Richard Dawson molesting all the girls. Talk about Me Too. I imagine Richard Dawson in today's day and age.
I was literally thinking about that because I mean, obviously, Steve Harvey's not even touching people so much as just grabbing women and kissing them right in the face.
Right. But so
he was balls deep in some of those ladies, after the show.
Absolutely.
How many fucking kids, with British accents are? Why would that be inherited?
This guy, this is a guy that watched Bob Crane make rough sex tapes with random women. He's definitely going after some of these contestants. But
I wonder if he killed him.
I don't know. Smashed his head with the tripod.
That movie Autofocus is a great movie.
It is. Yeah, if you want to see a really good, we talk about movies sometimes. If you want to see a really good movie, check out Autofocus. Autofocus and RKO 281. Those are both really good movies.
This is. I'm sure that second one is not because George Lucas. Oh no, I was thinking of that stupid the THX 1138 or whatever. Yeah, RKO 281 is very good. Yep. I would highly recommend that. I'm gonna have to try and wind this conversation all the way back to the green chilies, and I have a point about every topic we approached on the way here.
Okay.
This is gonna be some doing.
All
right. Okay, I completely forgot the last thing we were talking about, so this isn't going well so far.
We were talking about. Well, I was gonna say about
Greg Kinnear. Yeah, we were talking about Greg Kinnear because he was in the movie
autofocus.
Monkey Shines, probably. Monkey Shines.
And Dear God.
Symbols. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. He wasn't in You've Got Mail, though. It was Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel that he's not my favorite host on that show, Talk Soup, which is the only thing that you ever think of when you think of Greg Kinnear if you're a sane person.
Right.
But he's a very good actor. I don't know why he's not in a lot of other things. I mean, he's a really good actor.
He was excellent in As Good as It Gets.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I mean, I don't know if he was nominated, but I mean,
I think he was.
Autofocus alone, he's perfect. He's perfectly cast. He doesn't especially look like Bob Kane, but I mean, he is just amazing. You know,
Bob
he's
Crane.
amazing in that. Yeah.
Bob Kane, quote unquote, invented Batman or whatever, created Batman.
Oh yeah, K-A-N-E. Did I say Kane instead of Crane?
Yeah. Even though it was really Bill Finger.
What?
Bill Finger's the one that really created Batman.
Oh, I don't know. Or
Bob Kane was like, "Hey, what if there's a character named Batman? What do you think, Bill? Why don't you create the costume, the utility belts, the backstory, the name of the alter ego, the powers, all that stuff. Like he created everything else."
Yeah. See, I wonder. Okay, this is just going to add more depth to the conversation. They have to backtrack, but whatever. We're at a side point at this point. So anyway, someone please send me a diagram of this because it's a very interesting diagram. See, I wonder, how Stan Lee's credited with creating all these characters. I wonder if it's like, he just took the credit for it, because I mean, he probably pretty quickly was able to, hire a bunch of artists and inkers, which we all know is the most important aspect of the comic book. Writers, that kind of stuff. I mean, how much of it is him just going, yeah, how about this guy has like the powers of a spider?
So,
and he's like, I invented that.
So from what I've heard, and I'm sure people will write in and tell us how dumb and ill-informed we are, but from what I've heard, a lot of the early ones, like the initial Spider-Man run and stuff like that, he mostly wrote.
Spider-Man?
Yeah. He mostly wrote those. So he was kind of like, he was
the writer and Jack Kirby was the artist, I believe, is the relationship they had.
Yeah, and Jack Kirby, had a lot of creative input as well. But yeah, from the beginning ones, he wrote a lot of them. But yeah, as time went on, it was more and more of him like, bang, zoom, what about this?
Yeah, like how what's his name? The author, his last name, James Patterson.
Yep.
How basically it's like co-authored by, and co-authored means they wrote the entire fucking book, and he gave them character names or something or a plot. That's why he put out 20 books a month, because he has other people, and he has 50 different series. I mean, he might have $1 billion. I mean, this guy? I mean, I know J.K. Rowling, sold a ton of copies, but I mean, he has done that consistently for 25 years now. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's one of like I said, he doesn't really write anymore. He basically he comes up with a really rough outline and is like, here you go. This is the basis of the story. Write everything else.
You can have $30,000 and no more royalties or anything like that, and a byline.
Yep, exactly.
Hooray! I mean, I'm hopefully he's more generous than that, but yeah, it's ridiculous. Tom Clancy did the same thing at the end, or not at the end, but he had a series called Op Force, and it said he wrote the first book, and he also wrote the first book of the series called Net Force, and every other book was Tom Clancy's Op Center or Tom Clancy's Net Force, but he didn't write any of the other books. But I didn't realize that's actually when I first realized that. I was I don't know, 12, 13, and I'm looking, I'm like, wait, this is weird. This doesn't really read like his other books, because you could tell an author typically have a style, it wasn't nearly as detailed or obsessed with the granular bits of mechanical equipment being used and shit like that, because the Hunt for Red October is basically reading a technical manual about a goddamn submarine. It's the most boring fucking book I've ever read.
Yep.
But yeah, so but it's just like them printing money at that point, essentially.
Could you imagine Stephen King in that situation? That would be the plot of a Stephen King horror thing. Someone else is going to write your books for you. No.
They'll be edited. He just wakes up like, and his wife is like, just like grinding up money and smoking it. Like, what's wrong with you?
She's just patting him. Did you have the reined in editing dream again?
Nightmare. It's a nightmare, not a dream. And he goes, fucking Trump, and he like gets out of bed and goes to his keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be okay, honey. Here's the reinforced sable for your next manuscript.
That's why he has that big fucking desk.
Right.
How many Stephen King books do you think we're losing with the time he's dedicating to taking down Trump?
Oh God, with the speed that he writes, at least 4 or 5 a year.
We should tweet that. I'm like, hey, if Stephen King got off fucking Twitter, we probably have a few more books a year.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, anyways, Talk Soup. I think you would agree that the best host of Talk Soup is probably John Henson.
Yep.
I mean, Greg Kinnear was obviously the first one, and when this is to be fair, I didn't really watch it when Greg Kinnear was on there because I didn't have cable until I was like 18 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So when the first host I ever saw on there was John Henson. Okay. I mean, he's funny. I like his jokes, his personality, but he really never did anything after that. No,
not at all.
It's like Craig Kinnear on the Daily Show.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like, he was an old school.
You mean Craig Kilborn?
Oh, that was Greg Kinnear.
No, Greg. Okay, so because you said the Daily Show, and you're marrying these two people.
Oh, yeah. I see what I did now. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's
right. Greg Kinnear was Talk Soup, and Craig Kilborn was.
That's it. Yep,
Daily
Craig
Show.
Kilborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he had like an Irish name. He's like such a fucking looks like a fucking piece of shit Dutchman.
Seriously.
Well, actually, no, we like the Dutch. We hate the Danes. Sorry,
Right.
I'm sorry to confuse the Dutch with the Danes. My apologies.
He does though. He looks like he's from Helsinki.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like him. I mean, he was in old school at the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know where. I think he was on a talk show at one point, and I think John Henson hosted the show called where you're standing up, and you have to let a wall go through you.
What?
Yeah, it was called Hole in the Wall. It's from a Japanese game show. They have these shapes on this moving wall. You have to configure yourself into the shapes, or it'll push you into this big thing of.
Wow, that's very weird.
Yeah, it's very odd, but yeah, I mean, it's just odd that neither of them really, did a lot after that.
Yeah, and like you said, I really liked him. It's funny. I liked both those shows, both the Daily Show and Talk Soup, with their original hosts, and both of them, I felt very, very much the same when they were getting replaced. When Greg Kinnear left, I was like, oh, I hope the show's still going to be funny, and I ended up liking John Henson a lot better. And same thing with Kilborn. I was like, oh, I like Kilborn. I like the show. I think the show's funny. I hope this Jon Stewart guy is going to be, funny too. And I liked Jon Stewart a lot better.
And then Trevor Noah came along, and you liked him a lot better.
I don't watch it anymore. I don't support Africans.
Damn.
No, I'm just joking. But I really don't watch it anymore.
That's helping.
But
how about fucking 30 cents a day feed a child? That's what I want to know.
To be fair, though, yes, 30 cents a day can't even feed Sally fucking, what's her name? From
Struthers.
Sally Struthers. To be fair, though, honestly, I stopped watching before Jon Stewart left. I kind of stopped watching it probably a year or two before Jon Stewart actually left. So it wasn't like Trevor Noah came out and I was like, nah. I'd already kind of started falling off of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's they just got way too up their own ass about politics.
Yeah. Apparently, recently, John Henson has been in something called Eyewitness, which is is that Apple's
transcript?
Yeah. Voltron, legendary defender. He's the voice of Bob, and Halloween Baking Challenge. He was the host of that.
I mean, good that he still has employment.
I guess, yeah. Eyewitness was an American game show created and co-produced by Judge Judy Scheindlin. It aired on Fox and in syndication in July 2010 for a test run of 6 weeks. apparently did not get picked up. What the fuck? This format is way too complicated, so I'm not getting into it. But yeah, you could win 20 grand. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's like doesn't seem like even worth it on a game show anymore. Like ever since Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it's like people are like going nuts. About like $10,000 on Jeopardy. It's like Jeopardy is way harder, and it's like a sliver of the money you get off of it.
Yeah, exactly. It really upped the. It's like I always say about the lottery. So it's it used to be. If like the lottery jackpot, because I don't play the lottery unless it's really big, but it used to be like 100 million or like 120 million was big, and then people would be like, oh, okay, it's time to go out and get tickets, and then it grew to like 250 million, 300 million, and it's like oh, that 100 million now, who gives a shit about that?
Right. Yeah.
Who wants to win $100 million?
Yeah, a multitude of a magnitude of your earnings. It's like, I'm gonna wait till it's big.
And then it was like $500 million or something, or it got up to $1 billion at one point. One of them got up to $1 billion, I think.
Yeah, I think it did.
And since then, it's like I haven't bought a lottery ticket since then because it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't. It's not exciting, I guess, anymore. People aren't talking about it. But yeah, I think there's a number. I think it's, I want to say it's like 550 million or something like that. At $550 million, it's profitable to play the lottery. Every lottery ticket you buy actually has a positive expectation. That doesn't mean that you'll win. Just statistically, there's the risk reward.
The odds are technically are in your favor.
Yeah, the risk reward is such that if you had unlimited money and you could continue to buy tickets, forever, and the prize was always this amount of money, then eventually you'd profit. So yeah, I think it's 550 million or something like that.
Right. As part more of the rollback, we're gonna go back to the Family Feud. Do you think Richard Dawson in The Running Man is like the best casting of all?
Yes. I guess it's outstanding casting. It's got to be top 3 if it's not the best.
The reason he's so good at it is because you can tell, like, when he's on, you can just tell how bored he is with the show, like with the game show. I bet he brought a lot from the Family. Like, yeah, the Family Feud. It's probably a show they do like 5 shows a day or something like that. He's probably just making like obscene amounts of money. Like, but it's just creatively. He was an actor, obviously, at one point. It just can be like pouring coal over his like heart and.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's kind of. That's just like such a good casting. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, he's fantastic as Killian in that because, like you said, he's definitely bored with it, and that shines through. But he still has this creepy, gleeful menace.
I think Arnold's character. Please forgive me. I can't remember his name at the moment.
Richard.
What's his name?
No, Ben. I think it's Ben.
Ben Richards.
Ben Richards. Yeah, there you go.
Right, but yeah, his character, I think, kind of brings up because the game is fixed. Dawson's character knows that everyone, who's part of the machine knows that. Really everything's fixed. They're editing the videotapes, thing and stuff. So Richards knows the outcome every time. But then when Ben Richards gets the board, it's a new game entirely.
Yeah,
and that is a very cheesy movie, but I love that movie. I think it's probably the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I saw, so it probably has a lot to do with it. But it's just a fun movie.
It's very good.
It's a nice way to enjoy very graphic violence and bad puns. Getting back to Family Feud, I've mentioned this before. This will never not bother me. Speaking of shitty prizes, the prize in the Family Feud is a car for 5 people.
Yeah, I know. It's so ill thought out.
Clearly you have to sell the car. And then what? You get taxed on half the profits for that?
Yep.
And then it's probably California. It's in California, so there's probably a fucking state tax on that shit too. It's like city tax. It's probably just like some. You probably make so little when you get home.
Yeah.
After this game, it's just.
I actually talked to somebody that was on The Price is Right, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it kind of sucked winning." Like they won one of the prizes, but no cash, so they had to like go into their pocket and pay a bunch of money for taxes to keep the stuff that they won.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like I remember years ago, I think there was this show called Nintendo Power. Or something like that, where it was like the cool, like you'd be able to run through and like you had this Velcro suit and you could attach video games to you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think someone won like the grand prize in that, or maybe it was from the magazine. But either this kid won like all this cool stuff, and then he like won a car. He's like, "Yeah, we sold the car to pay the taxes on everything else."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
So
About those green chilies that you said, is that like the maximum heat you go with?
yeah. That's usually as hot as I'll do it. And I'll do like 3/4 of a jar, and
Well, that's a lot. It seems like I think that's a lot.
it's a decent amount because the more you use, the hotter it gets. And like I'll eat it the next day after it's marinated for a while too, and it's a little bit hotter. But it's like if you went to a Thai restaurant, I would call it like mild or not.
Sure.
I mean, maybe medium. Like maybe it gets up to depends on what Thai restaurant you're going to. Because sometimes medium's fairly hot.
Yeah, I haven't eaten a lot of Thai food, which is really a shame because my uncle was from Thailand. May he rest in peace. But at that age, I was not adventurous at all for the most part. I mean, he'd make fried wontons, which were delicious, but like I never tried any of the other stuff. And since I like hot food, obviously, Thai food is known for being like very spicy when you want it to be.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I need to explore that now that I'm more into vegetables and that kind of shit.
Yeah, I enjoy pad Thai quite a bit.
Yeah, I would get that. I mean, in city by me, Madison Heights, there's like, not exaggerating, probably 10 Thai restaurants. There's a lot of Thai. My uncle actually lived in Madison Heights. There's quite a few Thai people in that little, area.
Yeah.
And, one of the restaurants I went to, it was just delicious. Like, it was just, like, perfect,
Yeah, definitely. I like it a lot. I probably make it, not quite once a week, but maybe like 3 times a month or so.
Yeah, I've, like I said, I've never tried any, but I certainly wouldn't make it because I don't want to, insult Thai people.
Yeah, I know. I'm rethinking everything at this point.
You just have to make, you're very specific. Like, you only make meals that your parents made, I think is what it is.
Oh, okay. That's how to stay on the right side of the woke police.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be great if we made like a series called The Woke Police. So I actually thought this before, like it'd be funny if there's like I mean, I can't draw well, enough to animate or anything like that, but if there's like a animated like series called the Social Justice Warriors.
There you go.
And like, whatever, like, oh my god, like someone's robbing a bank. So they call them and like the entire thing is like them just arguing over like who's the most, politically correct. And they have like a woman in a wheelchair, a gay guy,
Right.
like different ethnicities. They have a deaf person. Like every sort of different what do you call it? Put upon group is represented, obviously. But they're like, oh, excuse me, I'm a bi librarian. From Jamaica. You can't tell me what politically correct is.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be funny too.
In the background, you're like, he's getting away.
It'd be funny too is if they go to the crime and like you said, some guy's robbing a bank or whatever, and instead of like chastising him or trying to get him in trouble for robbing the bank, they're like, now that gun you're using, that's a Sig Sauer. That's not you're not what country's that from?
They're Switzerland.
Okay, you're not Swiss, right? Right? You shouldn't be
Right.
You shouldn't be using that gun.
He shouldn't have a gun at all.
Yeah, look at that. Look at his shoes are leather. You know how expensive it is to have cattle farms. You know how bad that is for the environment.
He's like a hail of gunfire in the background.
Right. Yeah, he's just murdered a bunch of people, but they don't care at all.
That's my idea. Don't steal it.
All right.
Not you, anybody listening. And if anybody has a problem with it, fuck you. That's what we do. Don't listen to our show. We don't care.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of a hail of gunfire, I watched the Aaron Hernandez story.
Yeah, you said you were going to watch it, and I think I might watch it too. It's kind of an interesting story, but yeah, go ahead. Tell us about that. Weave your tale.
It's quite interesting.
How many parts is it? And I know it's a multi-part thing, right?
Yeah, it's 3 parts. It's 3 parts that are each about an hour long.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. But
I don't care about Aaron Hernandez that much.
I mean, honestly, if you know the story, you probably only really need to watch part 1 to kind of get everything that, like, any kind of new stuff.
Does it mention how he and Tim Tebow used to do drive-bys? I mean, they were roommates.
Yeah, well, Tim Tebow is in it quite a bit.
Oh, he's not cutting off the cocks of boys in the Philippines at the moment?
No, apparently not.
Or not fucking his fiance?
Right. He, it's funny because it doesn't...
fuck Tim Tebow on every level. I hate that guy. I hate him with a passion.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't, obviously, the documentary doesn't paint Aaron Hernandez in the best light.
No?
Because, it's pretty much on the side.
He was a bit of a jerk.
It's pretty much on the side of him being a serial killer, basically.
I would disagree that a mobster is a serial killer. Not that he's a mobster, but like a gang member.
Yeah,
I feel that you should have a sexual motivation to be a serial killer.
It's definitely, different motives.
Motivation.
Yeah. But even with all that, and it's not like I feel much sympathy for Aaron Hernandez, in this thing, because I really don't.
You're going to go on record saying that.
Yeah. But, come after me, internet. I'm saying I don't have much sympathy for, multiple murderer Aaron Hernandez. And I can say anything I want, by the way, because I recently found out you can't defame the dead legally. So we're good.
Nice. Oh shit, we got a lot of new shows to work on.
Yep. But even with all that, I found myself really hating a lot of the other people in the documentary.
I'm kind of curious to figure out how you recently discovered that.
What, that you can't defame the dead?
Yeah, that seems like another story entirely.
Yeah. But yeah, like Bob Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good people in this group.
It's Tim Tebow,
Tim Tebow might be the worst.
Urban Meyer.
Hey, leave him alone. He had to quit football to spend more time with his family twice.
Right, exactly. One time it didn't stick. The other time, he helped fucking like wife abuser get away with it.
You know what I want, and I think we can figure out a way to get this. I want a book that's a tell-all, name names book on any major SEC college, football program.
Absolutely.
Told from like a star player who never made it to the NFL, so they need some money. They're a little bitter. They know everybody because, in college, they all thought he was going to the NFL too.
Right.
I would love one on, Florida. I mean, I hate all those teams in the SEC.
Me too.
Who likes any of them?
Yeah, agreed. If you don't live down there, if you live in Florida...
First of all, congratulations on being able to read. Of course, fuck that thing.
But yeah, I hate the SEC like you do. I hate the Patriots. And most of these people, like you said, I mean, yeah, Aaron Hernandez is a murderer, but these guys are assholes.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse. But I think Aaron Hernandez was also an asshole.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And to quote the Wiener Dog from I can't remember the name of the movie. I was thinking of it earlier though. Do you know the movie I'm talking about?
With a Wiener Dog in it?
With the woman's, they call her Wiener Dog. It's the girl, like the Heather Matazzaro.
I don't know.
My wife is yelling at the screen right now. She goes, "He may be gay, but at least he's not an asshole." But Aaron Hernandez may have been all three.
Heather who?
Heather Mata, she was. This is. Have you the show Roseanne? Do you remember when DJ had a girlfriend?
Yes.
It was her. She was also. I think she was in the No Rain video by Blind Melon. She was in the movie Hostel 2.
Oh, okay.
But she was in this movie.
Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Welcome to the Dollhouse. Yes, that's
okay.
it. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me.
Got
Because I was going to mention it earlier, but I'm like, I don't know the name. That'd be stupid to say her without knowing what the name of it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, as she says in the movie, he might be gay, but at least he's not an asshole. But Aaron Hernandez might be a murdering gay asshole.
Yeah, that's I didn't know that you were aware of that, but that comes out in the documentary.
Yeah, I've followed the story. I think it's interesting. Like, there's a lot of really interesting stuff, but I haven't really taken a deep dive into it.
It's
like, I know that he like supposedly killed himself so that he wouldn't be convicted of murder, and therefore like his wife or her girlfriend would be able to get his benefits.
Well, I don't think that's the case, because
That's what someone had said at some point in one of the reports.
he killed himself after being acquitted of the double homicide in Boston. And he was talking...
Acquitted? He was acquitted of that?
Yeah. So the double homicide in Boston that he probably committed, allegedly, he was acquitted of that, but convicted of the murder of...
Was it like Thor, Odin, or something like that?
Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. or something like that.
No. Yeah, that was like, from what I've read the details, like I said, I followed the case a little bit. Like, it was like the most like damning, like, evidence ever, because like they had tracked his phone, like where the guy was buried and shit like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they had like pictures from inside his house of him, like with a gun and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And his footprint was on the scene. The car that he rented when he returned it, there was a shell in it. I mean, like, really stupid stuff. Then he tries to claim he's like, because he was with two other people. He's like, well, one of them shot him, and I was horrified, and that's what the defense tried to argue. So the prosecution after that...
Did it say how much he offered them to try and take the dive for him?
No, they don't mention...
Because he had to do that.
Oh, yeah. They don't mention that, but after the defense makes that argument, the prosecution comes up, just puts a tape in the VCR, and plays the home security footage of the next day when those two guys were over at Aaron Hernandez's house, and he's just handing the baby, like his baby, to them to like play with, and they're like talking and lounging out, and it's just like, yeah, this guy doesn't seem like he's afraid for his life of these people that just murdered this dude. But yeah, I didn't.
Don't they think he did a murder too when he was a student at university or at Florida?
Yeah, they haven't ever been able to definitively tie that to him. But yeah,
I think that's one of those things though too. Where like, oh well, this guy lived here around this time. He must have done this.
Right. Yeah, it's there's not enough evidence in that case, unfortunately, for the peace of mind of the victims.
I thought he kind of matched the description of the thing in Florida though, but I don't remember what the evidence was for that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the stuff about him possibly being homosexual was something I hadn't really heard of before, because I kind of followed this case, but not like, not super closely. It all seems to come from one dude that was friends with him in high school. He was the quarterback of their high school team when Hernandez was a tight end. And, he says that they, did stuff together and everything. What I find interesting about it, though, as far as this documentary is concerned, because they talked to a couple other football players that are gay that, felt closeted and everything. They don't really go anywhere with this. And it's like, I guess it's just another thing like, hey, he was keeping secrets, maybe.
The worst part was the hypocrisy.
Right, exactly. And it's like,
that seems to have nothing to do with it, but I mean, it's kind of interesting because he was like, an elite athlete, and a lot of people will say, oh, gays can't be elite athletes or something. I mean, people have made that thing, but I mean, obviously he's, one of the best tight ends at the time.
One of the things that really infuriates me about the documentary that several people say is, oh, we were like, how could he do this? He's got everything. He's got all this, but like, I understand like where people are coming from or whatever. People are thinking like, well, hey, if I had all this money, I wouldn't murder somebody. But it's like, you wouldn't murder somebody anyway, because you're not a murderer. Like,
yeah, it's like Pendulette says, like, he's like, he doesn't need a law saying not to rape people because he's raped as many people as he's wanted to, which is zero.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like, just because this dude's got a bunch of money and is like an elite athlete doesn't mean it's impossible for him to also be an asshole and murder people.
Right. I mean, look at obviously O.J. Simpson.
Right. Or Robert Blake, allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People are ridiculous.
Yeah, so that infuriated me every time somebody brought that up. I'm like, okay, it's a cliche at this point. I get it. I get where you're coming from, but it's like, you know, it's dumb. It's a dumb argument. But yeah, there were a lot of things about his life that I didn't know. Like, for instance, his dad died. I knew his dad died when he was in high school. But his dad died when he was in high school. And apparently his mom then immediately started dating his cousin, so her niece, I think, husband. And basically the guy came and lived at the house after the dad died, and like, I guess this fucked him up and everything. There's a lot of things where they're building a case. This is not like this documentary is not like Let's Feel Sorry for Aaron Hernandez documentary, but they bring a lot of things in here without judgment as just kind of like considerations of, you know, think about, you know, his dad died and he was a big guiding force in his life. You know, maybe he was gay and hiding it. And then obviously the CTE stuff, they bring that in quite a bit to basically say, hey, you know, this stuff can cause aggressive behavior.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and football players are more aggressive than the general, you know, human being to begin with. I
Right.
mean, to go into a game where you're just smashing at other people all day, like every single play, I mean, you're going to be at least somewhat aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, you have a certain amount of testosterone, obviously, football players do, you know, because you need testosterone to get big and to get strong. So you would think on average, chemically, they have more testosterone in their body than, you know, the average population. Like you said, they have to have a mentality to make it at that level of being aggressive. And then, you know, you chuck onto that, you know, CTE causes a lot of very severe problems. So it definitely could be a contributing factor to it.
Yeah, though it's kind of interesting, though, is like I actually heard Bill Burr, like, say, like, in a comedy thing that, like, you know, to speak more about the aggressiveness that like, you know, NFL players are actually statistically less likely to commit crimes than like the general population.
Interesting.
And I just looked it up, and that's actually correct. Like, it's actually significantly lower in many instances. I guess a lot of it is because I didn't realize there were
They're
that many.
rich.
Yeah, that actually is a big reason, because much like the affluent in general, they, you know, their rate of being, you know, especially convicted of crimes, is lower than the general population.
Yeah, plus, you know, you're not going to see, obviously, if someone's like Ray Caruth or, you know, whatever, people that are messed up and murderers are probably going to murder somebody no matter what their life situation. But you're not going to see a lot of NFL players, like, you know, committing armed robbery and stuff like that, because
Right. Yeah, exactly.
they don't need to.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, and a lot of a lot of them, you know, their fame gets them out of some things. I'm sure it's not like murder or anything like that, but I mean, you know, like some arrests, like, I might have had a couple drinks, you know. Would you mind if I signed a couple autographs, give you some tickets? Like, oh, sure, go ahead, you know.
Right. Yeah,
But I mean,
exactly.
still, it's, you know, just much lower. But, you know, I guess there's roughly like 2,500 people attached to, like, you know, being NFL players. That includes, like, you know, training camp and that kind of stuff, or like coaches, I imagine, too. So it's not a very large number, but even then, it's a small, you know, size. But yeah, like you said, because they're rich is pretty much why.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes sense to me. People
Yeah,
that have
there's
money
no
commit
need
less
for-
crimes just in general.
Yeah, especially property crimes, unless, you know, you have to steal back their Heisman Trophy or something.
Right, exactly. Oh, that fucking
that's-
dude's on Twitter.
Yeah, and threatening to kill people on Twitter, I believe.
Is he? That's awesome.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you, Juice.
Yeah, good for you, OJ.
You stay strong. Represent. I don't know.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. It sounded pretty good, you know, from what you were just saying, and also just I've been interested in the story. I didn't really watch a lot of stuff this week. Oddly enough, I mostly I listen to a lot of podcasts though, and this one that I kind of started to listen to. It was it's called Monster: The Beltway Snipers.
Oh,
it's all right.
I remember. I don't know that podcast, but I remember that story.
Yeah, it's put out by iHeartRadio, and I guess they did one on the Zodiac Killer, which, you know, obviously is the best serial killer of
Yes,
all time.
agreed.
And then they did one on some other person. I can't remember who, but I mean, I'll check this one out. But honestly, it's like I don't care for the production values, and it's just, I mean, it's just, I just wish it was more straightforward told. Like, not like we interview this woman, like, oh, I was very afraid when I heard the gunshot. Like, thank you. That's, I mean, some people must like that, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I like it straightforward as well.
Like a Dan Carlin type, hardcore history kind of.
Yep.
Like he does pontificate a bit, but it's not like he doesn't like play like hoofs in the background. It's like I know what a fucking horse sounds like. I'm not, we're not like in the 1950s with Juliette Lewis's stupid ass puppet father.
Right? Yeah.
Was she the one with the puppeteer father?
No, it was
the radio ventriloquist.
It was Candace.
Oh, Murphy Brown.
Candace
that's what it
Bergen.
was. Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant.
Yeah, Edgar Bergen was Edgar Bergen.
director and actor.
Charlie MacArthur. Charlie McCarthy was his thing. No, Juliette Lewis's dad was Vic Morrow, was decapitated by John Landis, right? Yeah.
A helicopter.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry, a helicopter at the behest of John Landis, but I'm sure that's not what he wanted.
Sure. Maybe he just wanted the scene to be very realistic. He's like, well, we have enough to do the whole thing, and this guy's kind of a dick.
He wades, he wades into the water, and he's like, "Vic, you nailed it."
He just laughs.
Great
Starts
take.
whacking off. Sorry, jacking off.
Allegedly. Oh man.
Who the hell is my wife would know this. Have you ever seen the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil?
Yes.
You know, there's a guy at the bar who like has these flies tied to him.
Oh.
And he claims he has like a thermos full of like cyanide or something like that. He's someone's father. I thought that was Juliette Lewis's father.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think Vic Morrow's not Juliette Lewis's father. That's what's her name from Fast Times at Ridgemont High is
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, Jennifer
you did say
Jason
that,
Leigh. That's right. That's her dad was Vic Morrow. That's
Right.
That's right. I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think if you saw his picture, you would recognize him. But yeah, I already gave up on the podcast, so I need to figure out something. I'm probably gonna watch the Aaron Hernandez thing, like you were saying, and also probably the Jeffrey Epstein thing that's also on Netflix.
Oh, there's a Jeffrey Epstein thing on Netflix?
Yeah, I think it's the same one that I caught part of it, and it aired immediately after one of the Jeopardy greatest of all time shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's kind of interesting. I know a bit about that one as well. But yeah, I'm going to find something else to watch because I'm almost done with The Shield season 4. So after that, what is there to watch? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Let me look up Juliette Lewis. I want to find out who her dad is. We'll figure this out. Let's see. Her dad is Jeffrey Lewis.
Oh.
It's spelled like wow, he looks weird. He is an actor though. I've recognized him.
Yeah.
He might be in that movie.
He is.
But yeah, he spells his name like Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us.
King Jeffrey.
Yeah. King Joffrey, yeah. So he played a bodyguard in the Jean-Claude Van Damme film Double Impact.
Oh, come on. That guy couldn't guard anybody's body.
He looks like he's in decent shape.
How badass do you have to be fucking Van Damme's bodyguard?
I don't know.
Probably not that badass, because I'm sure he's a pussy in real life.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, he is dead.
I
Not
didn't
Van
realize.
Damme. Don't worry, we're not talking about Van Damme at this point.
I didn't realize that. He died of a heart attack at the age of 79 in 2015. The first movie he's credited in is called The Fat Black Pussycat. Oh my God. Oh, let's see. The Return of a Man Called Horse. What the fuck is this? Oh, he was in Salem's Lot in 1979, the TV movie. I definitely recognize him. Catch Me If You Can, Sure Tango and Cash, The Lawnmower Man, The Man Without a Face. Remember that?
I know of it. I never watched it.
Mel Gibson. He's also in Maverick.
I think I know who Mel Gibson blames for stealing half his face.
Right. Well, he likes Mel Gibson a lot. He was also in Maverick. Oh, yep. Well, to be fair, he might have had a couple pennies on his face.
Wow.
Maybe that's why. No, I'm joking.
What I watched. This reminds me of another thing I watched. I watched a couple episodes of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And one of them was the Ricky Gervais one. No, this reminds me because there was like a controversial joke in there that they were like debating whether or not they'd cut out. I don't know if we should cut that, but we won't. So
the Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, live and let live.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know. You just keep talking and you'll find pearls of wisdom. If you just keep your mouth moving.
I've done some soul searching, and yeah.
Well, that is our...
and I don't mean Seoul, Korea either.
Right. Well, that is our episode for the week. As always, tell some friends, get into the mix, write us some messages. I'll be reading some of those next week. We've got a few in there that I have not queued up because I wasn't feeling
Not any from that piece of shit Brandon, I hope.
I don't think so. I don't think Brandon has responded yet.
Unless I fucking give him a fucking thing to think about.
Brandon, put down the fleshlight and respond to us.
Maybe we give him an idea. That's what he's been doing. Like, his fucking hands are numb now.
Right.
Just imagine how tightly you have to grip that thing,
Oh, God. What a lightsaber moment.
Flesh saber. Pat it.
All right, well, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh, shit.
What?
Did you cut it off already?
No, we're still going.
What would be more embarrassing to be found with, a fleshlight or a lightsaber as a grown man? I have an easy answer to that one. In fact, if I had a lightsaber and somebody found it, I'd be like, oh, that's a fleshlight. I'd fuck it.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. Oh. All right, we're going now.
Yeah, my computer's about to die.